Oh, they're here. Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's see. Oh man, I'm looking at all these people that have their phones muted. This is amazing. What happened? I'm sure we'll have a rule breaker here anytime with some
For
background
sure.
noises, some kids screaming, all kinds of good stuff. So guys, as you know, every week, every call, I might mention, or someone else might mention, as you're jumping on these bad boys, you would please mute your phone so where we do not get distracted. I'm about to go live and we'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. So guys, tonight we're going to be going over how to launch 2020 from a goal setting perspective. And I'm going to go over some strategies that is probably one of not only the best goal setters and goal getters, but an amazing teacher and trainer. And much of what he taught I've done, and some of the things I haven't done, like I should have done, but I might not have done them to the level that he shared. So this year, as I'm going through all that, I'm sitting, writing, and basically I'm going to try to do it to another level. But guys,
Survival Shelter in northeastern Pennsylvania.
I knew we'd have some rule breakers out there, some unmuted suckers. So as I'm going through and muting people, and unmute themselves, it's amazing.
How do you want it to go?
There we go again. Guys, if you're jumping on, please mute your phone. All right. All right, let me go live. And Carly's like, I'm going to wait till the most inappropriate time to unmute. That's normally what happens for most. Especially when you get some yelling at the kids or some, we've had some calls and stuff. It gets pretty crazy, the stuff people do while they're supposedly watching. Okay. Let me just go mute all. I keep pressing buttons to mute people and they're unmuting and all kinds of crazy. So guys, I'm going to go live and we're going to get started here in 1 minute. I have some really good content for you guys. As I'm sharing this, what I want to be very clear, I'm going to be sharing some things and some goal setting that I personally did and some things that we accomplished over the last year. So as I'm sharing this, I want to be very, very, very transparent that I'm not sharing this stuff to basically say, look at me, look what I did, and all this other kind of crap, okay? I'm going to be sharing this from a place of what's possible. I'm going to be sharing this from a place of, you know, guys, I remember when I got started in this industry, and I was like, if they can do it, I can do it too. And let me make sure I go live here and get all this straight before I get started. So share in a group. Let me go share this to the team page. Team guys. And it's not typing. There we go. Next. We'll be getting started in 1 second here. We are almost there, almost live. Why are you limping, lady? You're what? Yeah. Oh. Oops. All right, 1 more second. I'm a slow typer. I'm doing like the 2-finger jam. All right, here we go. Hopefully it does this. All right, all right. Now we have an echo. That's lovely. Why is this taking so long? I even got on early to try to get all this done. All right, I think we're live. If somebody can tell me if we're live, that'd be great, because I'm not going to go back and look at that. It'd be fantastic if you can let me know. All right, so guys, what I want to talk tonight about is how to set up 2020 in the most amazing way possible. And what I'm going to be sharing with you all is some things that, one, I did in getting started over here, and some of the things I did very effectively, and some of the things I didn't do as effectively as one of my mentors, one of the trainers that, you know, I worked. And when I say trainer, he was a mentor, but he was someone that was actually doing the deal. Wasn't someone that was talking about doing it. Wasn't someone that was basically saying, you know, look, I'm not a big fan of the people that train on things that they don't do. Like a lot of the coaches, a lot of the gurus, they want to teach you and train you on all kinds of stuff that they're not personally doing. And my feeling is, if you're going to train on something, you need to be training on something that you're doing today and things that you're actually working towards. And as I share that, I'll also share with you, as I was going over what I'm going to talk about, Jill's telling me, well, you don't do all of these things. And I said, well, I'll be very clear about some things I need to do better at, right? So I even have my wife over here making sure that, you know, like, don't talk about stuff that you're not personally doing, right? So I'm going to recommend that you do certain things, and I'll also share some of the things I have not done. But when I share this, I'm sharing, like, guys, you have to have a goal. And many of us are getting started in this business, and many of us are saying we want amazing things to happen for 2020. But then you have not chosen to make a detail-oriented goal list of exactly what you want to accomplish. So some of us might be saying, I want to make more money. Well, guess what? If you're walking down the street and you pick up a quarter, you have more money. Is that what you want to do? You want a quarter? Or do you want to have a detailed number on what that is and what that looks like? So many times when we do basically welcome calls, we'll find out what it is, what are your goals? And more importantly, what is it going to be like when that happens? What is it going to be like, or what is it going to feel like when basically you have the 500 you want to make, the 1,000, the 2,000, 5,000, whatever your number is, what is that going to look like? And more importantly, what is it going to feel like? And I'm sharing this because, you know, in life, if you don't have a goal, like, there's one side where you have to dream, and you have to dream really big. And this is the reality. And many people will sit there and they'll write their goals, or they'll start thinking about, well, I don't need this, or I don't need that. But guys, it's not about what you need, because there's only a few things that you actually need. We need food, water, shelter, and love. Like, these are the only things that we actually need. Everything else is just extra, right? Like, we don't need to have a computer to be on the Zoom tonight. We don't need to have a phone. Oh, well, if I'm going to do a business, I need that. Well, the reality is, in life, you don't need the things that many of us have. But what it's about is about setting really, I did say air, didn't I? I said air, water, food, shelter, and love. Thought I did. Bobby Joe saying, and air. So with that, guys, one of the things that I did do when we got started here is I had what I would consider a dream board. It wasn't like a particular board with all the little things on it, but we had different things that were written that were on our mirror. And we also had basically, one of the things I had in front of myself at all times was a picture of one of the boats, a boat that I was going to have, right? And for those of you that know the story, and I'll just go over a little bit of the backstory very quickly. And this is why. Guys, when I got started in this industry, I was a freaking horseshoer. I basically was bent under a horse's butt every day. And because someone believed in me and told me that certain things were possible, I stuck and stayed. And I worked through a lot of different challenges over the years to basically become the person that I am today. And it's funny that I can now, like I remember when I got started in this industry, the company I was in, I had to learn an 8-minute presentation. It took me 2 years to learn an 8-minute presentation. And for any of you all that have seen me now in front of the room or whatever, or even on a Zoom, most of the time, I can jump up in front of whatever and I could literally talk for hours and go over detailed trainings and detailed whatever. And basically I can go off on one tangent and go into a whole area in the training and then go another way and whatever. And the thing is that comes from doing it over and over and over and over and over and listening to tens of thousands of hours of trainings. Like before I got on this call, I spent the last hour on a training to make sure that, to keep my mind clear when I actually start to go over what I'm going to go over, to have some bullet points. And the funny thing is I probably won't use a whole lot of it, like on notes, because what will happen is I'll start reading and then I'll start getting distracted and then I'm not living in flow. So what happens, guys, when you get started and you start to do this thing, I'm not going to go into unconscious incompetence, competent, and all that other kind of stuff, right? But my point is that it doesn't matter where you are right this second. That if you make a decision, and that decision can happen right now, it can happen tomorrow or at any point, when you make a decision, your whole life can change. And I remember when I made that decision, 2 years in that company not making any money, and I made a decision that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that I'm going to turn my life around. And then boom, from that day forward, that month I made over $3,000, and then I never made less than that in that company from that day forward. In fact, I remember when I set a goal that I'm going to be on the top producers list, which means that you have to get 30 plus new customers every month. And I did that consistently. And then I realized, I'm like, why the hell did I settle for 30 when I could go get 75 and then I hit another rank? Like, why am I even settling? And the craziest thing happened, guys. I made a decision that I'll never make less than 75 sales a month. And for over a year straight, until Katrina, I literally did over 75 personal sales every single month. And it boiled down to decision. And guys, what decision stands for is death of all other options. And I'm telling you that because some of you all have maybe got started in the business and you say, well, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a try. And guys, that's not a decision. A decision is, I will make this happen. I will win. I will be the leader that people are looking for. And guys, when I got started in this company, I went from making a 6-figure income to basically 2 years ago, December, last $56 in our account, and my son's school tuition was going to come out, which was $800, and I didn't know where it was going to come from. I had to basically borrow the money because I knew we were getting started in this and we were going to run and the money was coming. And I borrowed the money, and guys, my first month's check in this company was $12,279. And I'm sharing that, and guys, that's not typical, but what happened was I made a decision, and I don't know if they're on. I'm sure Ricky's on. I know he's in Dallas, or Ian. But we were talking, and I was talking crazy freaking numbers on what we were going to do in the amount of time we were going to do. Ian, are you out there? And if you are, can you mute for 1 second? Unmute.
I'm here, brother.
Remember when I was telling you that we were going to hit $500,000 before the first convention we have, and what did you think?
But I do use it for those days that I need a hold.
Sorry about that. I actually clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Remember
so
when
that
we were
question, say
talking
that
about
question
that?
again.
You know, it was you, Ricky, and I, and we're talking, and we were talking about what kind of numbers we were going to be able to turn. And I was
Right.
saying that we're going to hit over $500,000 by the convention, and that
Yep.
I know that it's going to happen.
Yep.
And what did you think at the time?
What I thought and what I asked Ricky was, is Chris okay?
Exactly. So I'm sharing this, guys, because for you to get to a goal, you have to visualize what that looks like. You have to see it. And it doesn't matter. See, this is the crazy thing. It takes the same energy to set a big goal as it does a little goal. There's no more energy put out to set a big goal than a little goal. So if it's the same energy, then why not set a big goal? So, you know, I heard this analogy and I thought it was great. So, guys, when you look at, let's just look at sports real quick, because sports is something that people get paid millions of dollars. Can we agree that people get paid millions of dollars to play certain sports, right? Now, nobody goes and spends hundreds of dollars to get a ticket to go watch a badminton game, right? Like, I don't even know what the goal is except keep it up in the air. Like, that's, people just don't go say, I'm going to go watch badminton today and we're going to go. No, people don't do that. Like, that's crazy, right? Whoever lets it fall loses, right? But people will go spend, and people pay these athletes millions of dollars to take a leather ball and throw it into a basket, what they call a what? A goal. It's a basket goal. Now imagine they decide that, you know what, this little ring thing just isn't fair. We need to make this more fair. So we're going to make the basket 10 foot big. Would you even bother watching the crap anymore? Would you ever go watch a game if the basketball goal was 10 foot round and is easy and anybody can get it in? It would make it no fun anymore, would it? So the thing is that when we have to set a goal to basically, if we want to achieve greatness. And the thing is in every sport you look at, there's a goal, right? Let's use soccer as an example. In soccer, they get paid millions of dollars to kick a freaking ball and try to get it in a what? In a goal. And then there's somebody just like your friends, right? That says they're called a goalie. Or you can call them a goal stealer or dream stealer, right? Like your friends that tell you you're not going to make it, you're not going to be able to do it, and they're trying to block your goal, right? Because in soccer, that's what they're doing. You're trying to get it in the goal, and they're trying to block it and steal your dream and steal your goal, right? So, guys, the point is that in all sports, there is a goal. Like, imagine watching football, and like they just said, well, we're not going to tackle anymore, right? Like, would you go watch touch football, right? Like, if it was that easy, like, and it wouldn't be the same. Like, guys, in life, there has to be goals. So, what is the difference between a goal and a dream? Well, a dream is just something that you say that you want, where a goal, you actually have a timeline on it. So what my mentor said is one, and I didn't do this, so I'm going to tell y'all I didn't do this. Basically, I have goals written everywhere. I was going through notes before one of the calls, and I'm finding like notes with goals all over the damn place. And I'm like, holy crap. So I wish I would have done what he told me to do, which was to get a journal and put the year, and this is the year's journal, and put all your goals. So I'm going to recommend doing this, and this is why. Because later on, when you start accomplishing all these things, you want to be able to go and say, look, in 2020, this is what I wrote down, and look at all these things that happened. Where I can go find the stuff, but it would have probably taken me an hour to go start finding all these things that have now manifested this year and last year because of the goals that we actually set. So one of the things in goal setting, and many times people won't basically write certain things down in their goals because one, they don't want to be let down, and they don't believe that it's possible. And, you know, marketers spend millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars. My wife just, you know, corrected me, billions of dollars to basically get into your subconscious mind and get you wanting whatever it is or believing that you could have whatever their product is. So why don't you spend an hour basically getting into your own subconscious mind and start changing the way that you think? So guys, I'm gonna go into some detailed notes here in a second. I'm gonna try, and I probably won't because I haven't looked at any notes because I started to and I realized I was getting all distracted. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you something that I did. Because guys, I've written goals over the years, over and over and over and over, and it was like the same goals over and over, because for years I might not accomplish some of those goals that were, you know, actual tangible things. So there's different types of goals. There's basically physical goals that might be with your body. There are spiritual goals that might be with your spirituality, religion, whatever you want to call it. Physical goals in terms of things that you want to get. And then places that you might want to go. So I remember one of the goal things that I did years ago, my wife was telling me this again, that I need to do it, but put 10 of your top goals. Now the first goal setting, this guy told me to do them on blue cards, like index cards, and he told me to put a spiritual goal or whatever, and he said to carry them everywhere. And then my wife was telling me another, basically take your top 10 goals and put them down detailed and have them everywhere. Have them on your computer, have them as a screensaver, keep them in your pocket, and keep them everywhere. So what I did when we got started here, because I was at the lowest point of my absolute life, that I did not believe. I remember setting a goal for a boat. And I remember the goal for the boat that I set was not the boat that I wanted, but the boat that I thought I might be able to muster up and afford. Because how am I going to buy a $100,000 boat when my credit is now a 500 and something when it was a 8 when I bought my other boat? I had the Lamborghini, Ferrari, whatever you want to call it, of wakeboard boats, or the Bugatti of wakeboard boats. That $100,000 boat, brand new, almost $200,000 brand new. I got one used with low hours, and I got a great deal on it. But point being is I remember setting goals for boats that I felt I can afford versus the boat that I had and the boat that I wanted. Because I had this boat that I lost. And guys, when I got this boat, by the way, I posted the boat on Facebook in 2012. I said, I will have this boat. Now, this is the thing that was crazy. I didn't specify I was going to have this model boat or I was going to have whatever. Guys, I said I was going to have this boat. Well, the funny thing is, and I'm not going to tell the story for the sake of time, but I had my boat. I'm going to tell a very abbreviated version. I had my boat. This is in 2014. I had my boat that was paid for sale, and I was going to buy a boat, which was the upgraded version of what I had. And then when I started looking, I was like, well, everybody that's selling their boat, because I'd say, why you're selling your boat, is because they were going to the G23. And I was like, man, if I could only get a G23, but they were $100,000. Well, I found one for $99,000. And I was like, this is the boat. Because if I want all these options, why get this boat for $75,000 or $79,000, $80,000, when for another $20,000, I could have this boat, right? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, how much more is that on the note? So I'm sitting here going, all right, and I find this boat. I pull a credit app on this boat, and then I chicken out. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get the boat. This was in 2014. And then what happened is I get a call for my boat that I had posted on this website, and I never got any calls for this boat. And then I got a couple. And then this guy tells me, hey, I want to buy your boat. I'm moving into a gated community that only lets you have a certain size boat, and your boat has the best wake out of all boats that size, right? So I want that boat. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to sell it anymore. The only reason why I was going to sell it is because I really wanted a G23. And then he goes, well, why don't we do this? I'll buy your boat and you buy my boat. I'm like, well, what boat do you have? He's like, G23. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, really? Well, check this out. Not only was it a G23, it's the boat that I pulled the application on a week prior. Well, now it gets crazier, right? I get the boat. I meet this guy on the side of the road in Kentucky and basically pick up the boat. And we sign all the papers on the side of the road and all that stuff. And I give him my boat. I hook up to this boat. I didn't even pull the cover off. I just looked in, peeked in. I was like, oh, and I drove it home. Didn't even get in it. Didn't look at it. It was crazy, right? But I was like, I got a G23. I'm like taking pictures at every gas station I'm stopping at and all that. I'm so freaking excited. Well, guys, when I went to go call up and find out something about the boat, I called the factory and they asked me for the VIN number. And when I gave them the VIN number, they're like, oh, you got the demo boat. That was the 8th one made, and that was the one that they used in all the videos when they were marketing. The pros were driving this thing around, and they were basically using that boat to do the videos and the demos of the G23. Guys, I ended up with the boat in the video that I posted on Facebook in 2012. I ended up with that boat. That was the first boat. That was the first boat. So, all right, now let's go to the first boat that I traded in for that one. So my buddy made a dream board because we were having a dream board exercise. And we both do dream boards. And somehow he ends up with my dream board and I end up with his. This is before I even wanted wakeboard boats. And basically the dream board sat in our living room in the corner next to the TV for years. For years, this dream board sat there. Well, it had a Mercedes on it. It had a Nautique 210. And I'm sitting here looking at this dream board every day. Well, when I got into wakeboarding, I was like, I need a boat. The funny thing is I ended up with the exact same kind of boat that was on the picture of the dream board and didn't even pay attention and realized that I ended up with the same model type boat. Not just same type of boat, same model boat. And the color was actually similar. It was red, white, and blue, except the red, white, and blue I had was in a different format. But they were both red, white, and blue. The one on the dream board and the other one. And it wasn't even my dream board. But I saw it every single day. So I'm sharing this, and guys, there's no way to keep this call 30 minutes. Am I even going to become close to even be able to go over this whole dream deal? But this is what I'm going to go over. Next week, we're going to have more details on this and also how to rate last year versus this year and how to really set this up. And it'll be a little bit more organized next week. But this is like the preliminary for next week on, guys, I'm telling you, 2020 is going to be absolutely amazing. And y'all have been hearing me for weeks now talk about Strive for 5, Strive for 5, Strive for 5. I'm going to have my Strive for 5 done more than likely this week. You know, I'm started this week, boom, it's going to be done this week. And basically, then I'm going to help them do the same thing and then help them do the same thing, just like we've been talking about. But again, I'm speaking it into existence. I'm visualizing it. And some of you all are going, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to, you know, get 5 people this week and be whatever you tell yourself is reality. So guys, I'm going to go over this real quick and then we're going to dive back in. So I'm at the lowest point of my life and I set a goal for a new boat after I lost my dream boat that was on the Facebook, the one I just told you that great story about. I lost it. Like my whole life, I felt like it was gone. Like, because we were on the boat every day of every weekend. And when I got sick, I lost it. It's gone. And when I set the goal in September of 2017, I'm going to have another boat by spring. And when I set the goal for the boat I felt I could afford, I was pissed at myself. I was mad. I'm like, why in the world am I setting a goal that for a boat that I feel I can afford versus the boat that I want? It takes the same energy. So I was like, hell with this. I'm getting a boat that I wanted. And I was telling everybody that story. I was telling every person when I was on the phone with them, when we were selling what we were going to do, I was telling them, I'm broke, busted, disgusted. I'm friggin' my air conditioning's out in the house. This is whatever, but this is what we're going to do. This is where we're going. This is what it's going to look like. Like what I told Ian, we're going to do $500,000. Guys, 20 years in network marketing, the highest ever gotten volume was almost 500,000. Never even hit 500,000. And I'm telling these guys we're going to hit $1 million, and they're thinking I'm freaking crazy. But I saw it before it happened. I visualized what it looked like, because the only way I was going to be able to make a boat happen was if we turned those kind of numbers. So I'm sitting here, I set this goal, and I'm now on almost every call I'm telling people, I lost my boat, I'm going to have another one by March. I'm going to have another one by March. And at first I was saying spring, but in goal setting, you have to be specific. Like you can't say, hey, I want to get in shape. What the hell does that look like? Like round is a shape. Like you could get more round and you're in shape, but you're not the right shape, right? So guys, I was like, I need to be more specific. So I set a goal to be more specific. And basically I said, I'm going to have one by March. Well, guys, the last week in March, we got the boat. And I was going to buy a boat that wasn't the one that I ended up with. And my wife was telling me, I don't like the colors of that one. It looked like a Captain America boat. It was like a sparkly red and blue. It looked really cool, but it wasn't my favorite. And then I said, baby, I've been looking every day. So guys, what you want to do is keep your goal in front of you every day. I would be on Zoom calls and I'm telling people what we're about to do. And then basically as I'm talking to them, I would have the phone right here hanging on the computer. And I'm talking to them on the Zoom on the phone so I could be looking for boats in the classifieds while I'm talking to them on the Zoom. And I'm looking for boats that at the time was an absolute impossibility. How are you going to go buy a $100,000 boat with a 500 credit score and your air conditioning's out in your house and you're freaking a month behind on your mortgage? Like, how does that even make sense? It doesn't. But guess what, guys? The subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. And whatever you tell yourself is possible, if you start to believe it, it becomes a reality. So guys, I'm sitting there and I'm basically telling everybody this is what's going to happen. I kept it in front of me over and over and over. And then my wife's like, I don't like that color. Well, then I basically look up, I'm like, baby, there's no more boats. And I do a Google search and some random website that shouldn't even have that kind of boat. It was Yacht World. There was this one boat, that type of boat on Yacht World. And I was like, I've been looking for months. This one says it's been listed for months. And I've never seen this boat. How in the world did I not see this boat? And the guy's asking $99,000 for the boat. I offered him $85,000. And basically, because it was on the market for a while. And basically, they came back at me at 90. I said, let's split the difference. We ended up getting the boat for $87,500. And basically, well, how in the world did that even happen? How did it even whatever? Guys, the boat is Elevacity colors. It's the color of our freaking bags, of our wrappers. It's literally the same color. The colors are basically the aqua, teal, whatever you want to call it, with metallic silver sparkles. Like it's in gray. Like, I mean, when you think of our colors, they're kind of like gray, freaking green and black, whatever you want to call it. And I ended up with the same color of our company, Elevacity, and the name of the boat is The Office. So guys, that was the first real goal that I set. And what I recognize is that when I set this goal and we accomplished it, by the way, the last week in March, we ended up with it. And then the McLeans went with me to go get it. And guys, when it was happening, it didn't even seem real. It's like, how in the world is this even happening? Like it doesn't seem possible. I have chills as I'm talking about it. Look at that, goosebumps. my hair's standing up and all that stuff? Because it's possible when you tell yourself it's possible. It's real when you start to make it real in your mind. Like, guys, I kept looking at it over and over and over and over every day until I believed it was going to happen. And then when you believe that it's going to happen, it is going to happen. So with that, basically, the next thing is we're going to these desire trainings and we're doing all these super Saturdays and I'm writing new goals. And we went from driving BMWs to a Honda when we were broke. And I was like, I want to be in a luxury car again. I'm driving to Dallas all the time. This is uncomfortable. I want to be comfortable. So I set a goal. And I was like putting the goal way out there. And guys, it was crazy. I just started looking. My wife gets scared now. Every time I start researching stuff online, it's like a month later it's happening. And she's like, you don't need anything else. Like literally, she gets mad at me because I'm researching stuff. In the last 2 years, it's been absolutely mind-blowing. And again, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying any of this stuff to basically say, oh, look, I'm just telling you what's possible. So, and I can go back and look at the notes. I wrote Mercedes SUV. And then boom, guess what? Next thing you know, like I started looking. Weeks later, I had one. In 2002, I wrote a certain boat on my dream board. It was a Lanier custom boat. They call them fast cats. It's a catamaran, haul-ass fishing boat. Like this thing does 80 miles an hour. I had it up to 84. It's really cool. But I've been wanting one since 2002. When we were actually, Ricky was talking about getting a boat. And I started telling him, I'm like, Ricky, you need to look at the Lanier custom boats. Here, I'll start looking it up for you. I'm going to start sending you pictures. So I'm sending Ricky pictures for Ricky to look at a boat. Guys, I ended up with the boat like a month or so later. Like literally, I started looking for Ricky, right? And the next thing you know, I've been wanting one of these things. I was able to pay cash for it. I've been wanting one since 2002. And we were able to get that boat and pay cash for it. Again, guys, I'm sharing this because what is possible. Because what is possible. So, and this is what I want to do. I want to show you because I did not believe it when I started to say it. And I started to believe it when we got started here. I was broken. I was broke and broken. And I knew that for things to change, I have to change the way that I think. And I have to start believing something different. Because what happens is when we look at where we are, we can't see where we're going. You have to stay focused on where you want to go, not on where you are. So this is what I did. I was listening to an audio program years prior, and I remember this guy said that you can change your mind, that you can change the way that you feel about yourself and change what is possible by basically telling yourself a different story. And I went and listened to that, and I wrote it down and listened to it. And guys, it's hard to do this on a CD. It's not like a tape where you can rewind. I had to go track and listen to the whole track again, over and over again. And I wrote down this guy's affirmation. And then what I did is I took all the things that I liked, and I kept that stuff, and the stuff that I didn't like, I pulled out of it. And then I added things, and I made it mine. And every single day and every single night, I basically spoke this into existence. My wife's over here going, you know, whatever that means. But I'm just telling y'all what I'm dealing with over here. So I think she's going, wrap it up. So I want to show you what I read to myself every single day. Let me see. I'm going to basically read this to you guys. And then we're going to close out with this. Where the hell did it go? Okay. Trying to share the screen, but it's not allowing me here. Let me see if I can go to that. Let me see. It's not even showing me advanced. All right, so I cannot share. I'm going to just read it to you. Basically, this is what I spoke into existence every single day. I, Chris Schway, am a healthy, wealthy, wise, powerful, loving champion, leader, mentor, husband, father, man of God, who gives freely, inspires others, leads the way, walks the walk, builds leaders, lives by faith, exudes joy, and moves people into action. And wow, what a great day to be alive. I like me. I accept me. I love me. I'm going to have a super fantastic day today because I'm too blessed to be depressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too glad to be sad. I'm too annoyed to be disappointed. I'm too elated to be agitated. I'm too grounded to be confounded. Circumstances are aligning in my favor. I am healthy, physically fit, and intellectually equipped. I have wisdom far beyond my years. I am an extraordinary person with incredible abilities, which I will use to add value to other people's lives, knowing that as I help others reach their dreams, I will automatically reach my own. I anticipate meeting the person or group of people today who are willing to use their power, wealth, and influence to help me achieve my dreams. All day long, people go out of their way to bless me. Today, I will add great value to someone's life. I will show compassion to those in need. I will give strength to the weak, inspiration to the weary. Someone needs what I have to offer, and I gladly make myself available. I embrace abundance, and it embraces me. I am abundant in every good way. I am an abundance magnet. I like money, and it likes me, and is attracted to me, and comes to me abundantly from many sources. I use money wisely because it is a tool to use to help those in need. I am experiencing great victories and supernatural turnarounds and miraculous breakthroughs in the midst of great impossibilities. I am an overcomer. My mountains can't be removed. I will develop and practice my mountain climbing skills. I was broke, busted, and disgusted, but now I am rich, growing, and overflowing. I may experience a setback, but setbacks are setups for comebacks. Setbacks pave the way for comebacks. I make lemonade out of life's lemons, and when life dares to knock me down, I will fall on my back, realizing as long as I can look up, I can get up. I can make paying for my dreams with preparation, so I won't have to live my nightmares of regret. I do not procrastinate because procrastination leads to the devastation and is the assassination of my destination. Thus, I will act now. I am a doer. I get results that last. I now release the champion that is inside of me. I am the leader that many people are looking for. So I choose to succeed today and every day because I have favor and I get paid millions to be me, because I freaking rock. So guys, I wanted to just read that to you because many of you all, when we talk about the goal setting part, won't even do it because you've been telling yourself a story. And guys, whatever story you tell yourself, I was talking to my brother earlier today and he was telling me about a friend of his that keeps sabotaging his life because he doesn't believe that the life that he has with his wife and his 2 kids, that he deserves it. Many of us have taken up a story that somebody told us, and we bought that as our own story. And we started to believe that we're not good enough, that we don't deserve to have things, and that you'll never amount to anything. And guys, if you believe that story is reality, and that story is true. But what I'm here to share with you tonight in closing is that whatever you believe is reality. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right too. Either way, you are right. And the thing is that guys, if you start to manifest, if you start to write down your goals, if you put together a dream board and you start to believe that these things are possible, anything is possible. You know, we can speak life and death through the words of our lips. Many times we're basically speaking lack and limitation versus abundance. There's a good book that says that we can basically, that we can heal ourselves, that we can do amazing things. You know, let those things not as they are, but as you want them to be. I'm not sure what the exact scripture is, but there's some amazing scriptures that all talk about this over and over and over. But then we basically buy in to the life of regret that whatever we've been dealt. So what I'm here to share with you tonight, guys, if you make a dream board, if you take an affirmation, I recommend start off with an affirmation. Because some of you all won't even go and do a good dream board because you don't believe that you deserve it. And guys, it is selfish for you to not make big dreams and big goals. It is absolutely selfish. And you're going, well, how the hell is it selfish? Do you realize the way it trickles down by you having big dreams? and how many people you affect by you basically believing in yourself and believing in other people, how it affects someone that affects someone else that affects someone else. What if Ricky and I and Sean and Cam and Mike and Cassandra and I and Robin and the group of people that got started here originally all said, well, whatever. Thousands of people have been impacted. Hundreds of thousands of people are now on our product and have been impacted by this happy coffee and are happy people today because we made a decision. Guys, tonight is your time to make a decision that 2020 is your year, that this is your time to go, your time to go out and build and create the life of your dreams. So I didn't go over any of what I want to on the actual dream setting on exactly the format, but what tonight is a basically preliminary, but I actually have it detailed, and I'm gonna go over step by step what those steps are on how to build, and I might even do it as a Facebook Live and team page, so I can basically go and go over this stuff there. If that makes it easier for people, we could do that, or that might be the easiest way, because I don't know how I'm going to do it on a team call, especially with how distracted I get. So with that being said, guys, I went 14 minutes over what we planned on. So just want to say, appreciate you guys. Love you all. Let's make 2020 our year. Let's go out there and do big things. I want to take this, and this is only going to take 1 second. I took a picture of something. It made me think, because there's like different levels of I don't even know where it is, but there's different levels. Like there's like setting goals, and then there's like goal mastery. Like I've been fairly effective at setting goals, but I haven't mastered goal mastery. And then there's other people that, like, let's just use Ricky Durant, for example. He is goal obsession. Like it takes it to another level of, like, not just mastery, but obsession. Like, he set a goal and he keeps telling everybody over and over, I'll have my house paid off by February. And if y'all saw, he just got another new house. Like, guys, like, the guy's obsessed, and he will do everything possible to make that happen. And how does he do that? To focus in on who's he going to help in the team. And I just want to say, you have a choice. You can basically set goals. You can basically work on getting goals, or you can just be absolutely obsessed that you're going to make everything and your goals a reality. So with that being said, appreciate you guys. Love you all. Everybody have an awesome night.
Thank you, Chris. That's amazing.
I'll unmute everybody.
Thank you, Chris. That was amazing.
Totally amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks again, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.